So what kind of teaching jobs are available for foreigners in China? This is a follow-up to the video I posted yesterday on non-teaching jobs. Like I said then, about 90% of all jobs that foreigners are working, especially when they're new to China, are teaching roles. So today I want to talk about the different types and opportunities that those have. So first off, if you are a credentialed, licensed teacher in your home country or internationally, you can get a great job teaching at a Chinese international school or university if you've got that experience. I see all the time, job postings for IB or AP subject teachers at international schools. And if you are able to do this, you will make excellent money here in China and again, get lots of respect. The full, usually paid summer and winter holidays and accommodation and food at the school. It's a really great opportunity if you have those full credentials. Now, the next type of job is kindergarten. Now, these are similar in that you will usually have the summer holidays. You get pretty good pay. You'll work normal like school hours, and these are good if you are not a native English speaker, because there can be a little bit more flexibility with kindergarten roles. If you speak English as a second language, have your TEFL certificate, and come from a non-native English speaking country, you can usually still find a kindergarten job, although it seems to be getting harder and harder. Don't take that as a promise. Now, kindergartens are great because again, you're working regular school hours, you get pretty decent pay, and long holidays. A lot of times they'll also feed you at the school. You get to eat the same very healthy food that they feed the kids, and let's just say the academic rigor of teaching kindergarten, being a kindergarten teacher, is usually pretty low. A lot of times they're really just looking for you to do some simple activities with the kids and keep them entertained and not be a creep, and to speak English to them and develop a good relationship with the kids and make them feel comfortable around foreigners and around English. And so that brings us to training centers. Now, these are usually going to be the best for native English speakers from native English speaking countries. It's getting harder and harder for people that aren't from the US, Canada, UK, Ireland, South Africa, Australia to get these kinds of jobs. But if you are from one of these places, they're very, very easy to find. I think they make up probably 90% of all the people that are foreigners working in China. At least in the beginning, it's the first job that most people will have. Now, the pay for these is usually pretty decent, and they'll usually give you a subsidy for housing as well. It's probably going to be the best paying of any of the entry-level roles that you'll get here in China, and especially when you consider that the teaching hours are going to be very, very few most of the time. During regular school terms, you're going to be mostly working after school and weekends. So what that usually looks like is Monday through Friday, you'll rest 2 days, and then you'll have 3 days where you work maybe 3 hours. But on the weekends, on Saturday and Sunday, you are usually going to have to work 10 or 12 hours per day. So if you're young, like when I first came to China, I was young, I did this for a couple years and I survived, but it's a lot harder than it sounds. When you hear 25 working hours per week, it sounds great, but when you're not able to rest at all on the weekends, those days can start to stack up, and it means you're going to miss out on a lot of like social events or cultural events, whatever that typically happens on the weekend. It's also the same for holidays. So when the students are out of school, the training centers are looking to get as many extra class hours as possible. So it's kind of the same thing. At a lot of training centers, they're going to have camps. So during summer and winter holiday, you might be doing those 10 or 12 hour days, 5 or 6 days a week, or 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks in a row, depending on how your school is set up. You might not. It's not optional, and those really can grind you down quick if you're not ready, or if you're you're not super passionate about teaching. It gets hard fast. And yeah, so I'll say that it is my wish that everyone who comes here to be a teacher at least likes it. If you're not interested in learning and pedagogy, then at least you got to have love and patience for your students, because there have been so many people here and around the world that kind of come with that colonizer mindset of it's just a job, not really considering how their neglect or their ignorance is going to impact these children and their lives really forever. So if you have that kind of mentality and you're excited about the prospect of, you know, shaping minds, shaping children's futures, teaching is a great way to get started with any of those jobs that I mentioned. All right, I'll be back again. Any questions, comments, anything else you want me to touch on, just leave me a comment, leave me a message, shoot me a DM, and I'll be back tomorrow.